Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. We're continuing here in the PELE YOETZ. And today he gives a little bit of rebuke to Klal Yisrael. And he says, once that we look at ourselves, we are the orphan generation. Unfortunately, we've become very weak, and we've increased our impurities and the sins that we do. And because of our great many errors and sins, we have been holding back the ultimate good from ourselves, the ultimate good, kirvas Elokim, getting close to Hashem. Every avera, every sin that a person does pushes HaKadosh Baruch Hu and makes a wedge in the relationship farther and farther. And as a result of that, we're not able to think clearly about acquiring the proper yira, the awe, the fear, the ava, the love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, and the Awesome, and the Honorable One. And therefore it is fitting for a person to affix for themselves hours or times every single day, or at least sometimes. You must learn books, svarim, that remind us of fearing Hashem and having awe of Him, and the ava and loving HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which, by the way, is why we're learning PELE YOETZ, because he does a wonderful job of reminding us of what it means to be a Jew and how to live our lives appropriately. But in his humility, he's not saying to read his sefer. He says you have to read other svarim that will help you work on this. Kagayin v'sefer HaKadosh Reishis Chachma, a very famous work, I believe by the Chidah, called Reishis Chachma. Not learned so much today because the language in there is fire. Fire about what happens to a person if they do sin. Fire about the world of Gehenna that a person is going to go to. And therefore, I'm not sure that it's learned so much. But if you have the tenacity and you can handle such a thing, open up a Reishis Chachma once in a while. V'sefer Chassid Shlah, so too the Shlah HaKadosh, who is one of the great giants of Yira and Ava, read his Svarim. V'sefer Chayvas Levavos, how about the Sefer Chayvas Levavos, duties of the heart, Rabbeinu B'chaya, the Sefer Abris, or the Sefer Abris, Ukedayme, or similarly, anything that you could find, we'll add in there, Mesilas Yesharim, the path of the just, Rabbeinu Yonah, Shari Tshuva, even Pirkei Avos with Rabbeinu Yonah's commentary in there. Many, many things, whatever sefer you could get your hands on that speaks to you, that will help you to increase your fear and your awe and your love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a person should learn. And it really says every day a person should set aside time, but if you can't do every day, it's hard to find time every day, or it's even hard on you to learn these kind of things every day, at least several times a week, make sure that there's time that you set up to learn them. And perhaps in these words, if you read these svarim, you learn these type of svarim, you'll fulfill the mitzvah of to fear and to love Hashem. And he says an amazing thing over here. What comes first, the fear and the awe of Hashem, or loving Hashem? And he says in reality, love comes first, and it draws out the yira, the awe and the fear that you're going to have. Because the more love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that you have, either because you recognize all the good that you receive from Hashem, or like the second way we said, you see the exalted loftiness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and you're humbled in His presence, therefore you'll also be afraid to transgress His will, and to anger HaKadosh Baruch Hu with our mistakes, and to cause Hashem pain. When you cause Hashem pain, not champagne. Yeah, says the PELE YOETZ that if you come to love the Rebbeinu Shalom for all the good that He does, you're not going to want to hurt Him. You're not going to want to go against His word and transgress what He says, because you know that it's going to cause pain and sorrow and anguish, and it'll be disappointed in us. Why would a person who is in love with the Rebbeinu Shalom, who sees all the goodness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, why would he want to do such a thing? Gam mitzvahs hayirahim miskayemes v'machshava levad. You can fulfill the mitzvah of fearing HaKadosh Baruch Hu with your thoughts alone. Like we're going to learn later on when we get to the chapter on yira, on fear and awe. And through the thoughts of loving Hashem, it will draw out and bring you to the thoughts of fearing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Again, the more that you love somebody, the more careful we are not to transgress and hurt them and disappoint them and frustrate them and make them cry. So to the same thing, if you love the Rebbeinu Shalom, which hopefully now after 10 days of working on loving Hashem, our Abba is getting greater and greater every single day, how much more careful are we going to be to make sure that we don't do something that will be disappointing in the eyes of Hashem? That requires yira, that requires the fear and the awe, and in that way we'll hold ourselves in check so that we can enhance and develop the loving relationship between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu more and more every single day. Have a wonderful day.